Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So it's MJ here speaking, and I'm happy that you guys have come back to visit me and be in my Lululand of The Sims 4. So anyway, I'm back with another build tour for my Memory Lane series. If you are new to the channel, I do this series where I go back in time through my build catalog from well before I started a YouTube channel. I go back in time and I look at some of the old builds that I made and I tour them with you guys. So we check it out together. I literally go down memory lane with you. I share the things that I had on my mind, some things that I did in the build that were sort of cringy, and some things in the build that I did that I'm still proud of to this day. But yeah, in doing so, I wanted to show you guys this particular build. So this build, oh, actually, let me give you guys some context before I show you more about this build. Anyway, I know you guys saw my last video because it's amazing. It's I have to pat myself on the back. But anyway, I was showing you guys one of my favorite builds. It was an orange craftsman, and it was called the SoulFood Family Stay Over. Now, I am an African American woman, and hold on, I lost my camera. Let me zoom out a bit. I'm an African American woman, and when I found out growing together was a thing, I really had these ideas of family cookouts and reunions and stayovers and all of that, and I really wanted to repeat a lot of the things that my family did and a lot of things that I saw growing up. And so that was the result of the lot that I showed you beforehand. And so I made a family and I attempted that, and I was enjoying myself very much, and to the point to where I made my family so huge, my growing together family so huge, that I ended up with extended family members. So what you see here are my extended family members. They're basically my in-laws to my sim who's in my growing together family. So these are the in-laws, and they needed a place to stay. And again, I love that little orange craftsman so much. I still wanted to capture that essence and still keep it here in Del Sol Valley. So what I did was I revamped the lot, and now we are here. This is the revamped version of Mama's house. So it's still a place for mama. It's still a place to go visit your mom and have Sunday dinners and, you know, have the family come over and have those little reunions and whatnot. I just made it for more Sims to live in the house. And it's, again, this is a year difference. So again, my building skills from when I originally built that orange house has changed so much, even in just that little bit of time. So anyway, that brings us here. That brings us here. So this looks even better than what I had. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love that little orange house that y'all saw, but this is even better. And you will see why. Trust me, you'll see why when you see the inside. So yeah, let's talk about this real quick. So currently we're in Del Sol Valley again, for those of you who didn't see the other video. And if you don't know, this neighborhood is called Mirage Park. Mirage Park is very cool and very appealing to simmers, especially those that like a rough aesthetic, those who are going for a more of a Compton vibe if you want to, or those who are storytelling simmers who want to, you know, share their stories and LPs and whatnot. So I, for one, I loved this neighborhood, and I love the essence that it brought. And my family, who I think of as my in-laws down here at the bottom for my growing together family, their side is pretty much on the rough side. So anyway, I wanted to have some fun with them, and I felt like this would be a good place for them to live. And like I said before, another good place for my kids in my growing together family to come see their grandma and hang out with other family members, cousins, and all of that. So let's talk about this exterior. So exterior wise, this house was inspired by a house I saw on Zillow, actually. So I believe that I had to come up with my own floor plan because the posting only posted like the front facade. So that's where I got this look from. And you know what? I'm happy that I found this. As soon as I saw the photo, I think I remember being excited and going, oh, that's really awesome. And I was also excited about the windows too, because I used the Growing Together windows that came with the pack. And you might see that we have bars on the windows over here. I think this was the first time that I used bars on the window. You probably checked out my other build tour where I showcased a whole apartment in the middle of, the Hollywood Boulevard in Del Sol Valley. I used bars on the windows there, but I think this was the first time that I actually used them. If you don't know where these bars come from, they're literally part of the what pack is that? Snowy Escape. Yeah, it was part of the Snowy Escape pack. So yeah, it's really cool. And a lot of apartments or homes have this sort of situation, especially in rough neighborhoods. So for the story that I was trying to tell, I like this little touch of detail. And if you're wondering where that's from and you want to get it yourself, just remember Snowy Escape, and hey, I got you. Anyway, so the rest of the exterior, I was working with this big lot. As you know, this is a 40 by 30 lot. So anyway, for those of you, before I get started in this tour, the name of this lot is called LA's Finest Grandparents. So again, if you need a house for your mama and you're growing together gameplay, a place for you to visit while you're playing as your sim and you're expanding your family and growing your family, this is another good build for that. So this again was made for Del Sol Valley. It is 40 by 30, and if you don't know, I do have this build and others on my gallery ID under Marsha Tac 12. So yeah, go check it out when you get a chance. And yeah, let's talk more about this. So this build, again, it was inspired by a Zillow photo. I only had the front facade, and that's okay. I fell in love with it. It's not a like direct copy of what was in the photo, because I want to say they had like a drive up over here and the house wasn't as big as this, or at least have this bump out. I didn't even have a floor plan, so I came up with my own custom floor plan, and I really love how this turned out. And this layout is better than what I could have even imagined. So I made it custom made for these Sims and for Sims 4 gameplay, because I know when I upload this, you guys will most likely want to use this and customize it for your own gameplay and your own families. So anyway, let's talk about the yard real quick. The yard is sort of a prized possession for this particular build, because as you can probably remember from the last build, we had like a short backyard and then a little bit of a front yard. We have maximized the space that this lot has, because obviously this is a huge lot. So I have a front yard here and a side yard, and that's more than we had in the other house. I also have a whole alleyway right here. So in the old house, we had like a garage, and I have swapped out the garage for just a little shed in the back. And I just put this driveway here because I really just didn't need all that space because of what I was able to achieve on the inside. All this space on the side was uncalled for. So I was thinking to myself, what do I do with all this space? I added an alleyway, of course. So that's what I did. I added an alleyway. And again, I made this in 2024. That's time gone by after I made this apartment build. So I'm like, would it make sense to put an alleyway right next to another alleyway here that we have next to a parking lot? And I wasn't too sure. I'm thinking to myself, how do I pull this off? And so I came into the idea of these trees as dividers. So as you can see on this apartment build lot, it comes with trees. And I thought, why not just connect them? Let's connect the this partition that I already made. Now again, don't be alarmed if you don't have this Del Sol Valley apartment build in your save. It's okay. You don't need it. These will act just fine if you download it from the gallery, because I made it look connected even though these were made at 2 different times. So it's all good, don't worry. And they blend in with the environment, because if you look in the neighborhood, you will see these trees. I didn't put those there. They just come in the game. And they sort of act as like dividers for the property lines that are already in the neighborhood of Mirage Park. And there they are again and again. And so, yeah, I really just honed down on realism for this particular build and making sure that it blended in and gave off that real life, California vibe and swag. So, let's actually talk about what's going on the porch and this little homage to the old house. So on the porch, I love just having a little seating area for your Sims to just sit and chat and catch up for the day. This also, guys, comment down below what this reminds you of, because when I put these 2 chairs together, instantly I thought about that old movie in the 90s. You know what I'm talking about. If you know what I'm talking about with Craig and Smokey, please type down the name of the movie. Type down the name of the movie. I know what the movie is, but if you know what I'm talking about, type down the name of the movie in the comments. But yeah, when I put these 2 chairs here, and especially when I saw how it looked next to the screen door, I thought, oh, instantly, this is that moment. This is that moment for sure. Like, all we missing is just 2 guys sitting there in the chair. But anyway, that'll be our little inside joke. Also, got a garden over here. So in the last house that I showed you, I really loved having a garden out front and seeing, the idea of seeing the neighbors and like having our grandmas compete. Having like a yard competition to see who's got the better garden or whatever. So I really like that idea. So I kept it. I just moved it off to the side here because I figured the front yard would make for better gameplay, for actually seeing more of whatever events you're going to set up. So, oh my gosh, I'm going pretty slow. Let me go down. That's probably why I'm going so slow. Yeah, I was too high up in the sky. All right, so now on this floor, let me take you actually through the house. So, and we go on in. It'll take it forever. Anyway, so this is the house. When you come in, you're literally straight into the living room. So you got the screen door, which that is basically your entryway. There's nothing there's not even the little tile that separates the front door from the living room. But this is the living room. It reflects a modest house, an older home that was on a budget. And I like to think of this as mama's house that she bought a while ago. And when I say mama's house, I'm including dad too. I just say mama. But yeah, mama's house that her and dad bought a long time ago, and they have since lived in this house, and so it is a well lived in house that could probably use some updates but does not. So also, let's get into the furniture and what you're seeing over here. So first off, I have to say that this unit is pretty cool. I was playing with the build before you guys got here, so I actually added these shelves and those 2 photos up at the top, because as a builder, even looking at this now, it's been some time since I actually looked in this particular build, but looking at it now, I'm like, this would be so cute if we added shelves plus photos. So on the gallery, when you download this, those photos won't be there, or those shelves, but you can add them if you want. I literally am just sitting here being a simmer, having fun, playing around with some stuff. But anyway, this living room definitely still gives off mama's vibe. Like it's mom and dad's house, but mom picked out the furniture. That's pretty much the essence of what's going on here. So yeah, I like to think that they probably had bought this house in the 80s. And so the style that mom had, just this is what she went for. And she went for a very out there color scheme, and yeah, this is the result. This is the TV unit, and she kept this old style TV. If it's like one of those if it ain't broke don't fix it sort of scenarios, and so we still have the big box TV in the living room. I do like this accent wall, because this accent wall kind of reminds me of the mid-century stuff that we have going out the rest of the neighborhood in this neighborhood of Del Sol Valley. So I do like that. And again, just like before, these bookcases with the glass panels on them, I just dig them. I think they're really good for old style builds. I have used these before in my 90s style house. They're just good. They're just good. I just really like them, especially putting things inside of them. You could put a bunch of like keepsakes and family heirlooms inside of them. I like to put pictures inside of them. I had a wedding photo inside of them. I think they're really nice. So yeah, shout out to these bookcases that came with the tiny living stuff pack. But yeah, this is mama's living room. This is how she likes it. She picks out that furniture. I like to think that this is a couch that is very much 80s style. If you're wondering where did I get this couch from, it's just two pieces of the same couch from Dream Home Decorator. So if you know on Dream Home Decorator, we have the ability to create sectionals, and this is just two pieces of a sectional, literally just corners. And matter of fact, I'm literally in build mode. I can just show you. See? That's all it is. It's just a piece of a corner. And if I try to duplicate the couch, I can literally show you. If you go to Dream Home Decorator and right here, you're in the living chair section, you can go here, click on the actual color swatch picker, and you can pick what piece you actually want. So I just made a custom couch, and this is the couch that I thought mama would like and that mama would have picked out from the store. So that was the idea behind that. I don't know, let me make sure I'm still recording, because you never know with OBS. Okay, yes, I am still recording. All right, so other than that, I also like to think that mama has her favorite chair. Like this is the chair mama likes to sit at, and nobody else sits there because they know mama's gonna sit there. So that was the idea that I had, and I thought maybe mama's into knitting. I don't know why I make all my elderly folk into knitting, but anyway, yeah, this is the idea that I had. Mama would be into knitting things for the little ones, for the toddlers, for the infants, for the kids, and she makes knits for everybody. So this is her spot. Now dad, I would think that dad didn't have a chair, because I can't see him fitting in a floral chair. I could probably put a lazy boy in here. That probably would do it. I don't think I had the lazy boy that came with werewolves at the time. I did have the basement treasures pack, but I did not think of the lazy boy chair in that pack when I made this. But it's all good. I do like what I came up with here, and I pictured dad would sit here at this pop-up table. Now, if you've seen two of my other videos already, I've done this technique twice, in which I put a dining table in the living room, and I just slide the chair into it, and it looks like a pop-up table. Now, this only works for certain small tables. You can't just put any table here. But it always works, and this is actually functional. I didn't use bb.move objects to put that chair in there. It's literally a dining table with just one chair. So I'm not fibbing you guys when I say this. See, you can pull it out, you can put it back in. It's literally a dining table. The other thing is, it's functional. You can put food on here and eat it off of here and watch TV at the same time. Your Sims can do that. I just put clutter here because I'm like, you know, you may not want just anybody coming to just sit and watch TV here, especially if you want to do a family dinner in the actual dining room. But if you know, it's your choice. You have the option to just delete this if you want to. I just put it there because I do like this clutter item. But anyway, back to the tour we go. Where that's enough of Dad in his seat. So off of this is what happens in tab mode. Some of your items disappear when you're in tab mode, but I gotta go in tab mode so the UI won't be in the way. Anyway, back to the rest of the house. And what's very funny is that the layout of this house is similar to a house that I've actually been into. Like, I had a family relative who actually her house was built like this. She was an elder, and her dining room led into her living room like this. So this definitely brings back some nostalgia in real life as well. Now, this is Mama's living room, and as you can see, Mama's got 5 chairs here. Why doesn't she have the full set? Well, because Dad took the chair out and he's watching TV. So that's why there's a missing chair there. So that I can't help but laughing because it's funny. It's really funny. So anyway, this is Mama's dining room. So if you're having a stayover, or a family reunion, or you're having Thanksgiving, aka Harvest Fest in the game, this would be a good place to do that. So that would be here at the dining table, and I really like that idea. I really love family gatherings, especially when it comes to food and family gathering around the table. It's just something so wholesome. I wish the Sims team gave us an update or a free patch or something, or even a mechanic and a paid for pack. I'll pay for it at this point. Please give us something to where we can make Sims sit down and stay there, so that we can actually have that feel of family time at the table where we talk and catch up and reminisce. I love that. I mean, pretending is fine. I'll deal with it for now because I have to, but I would love if it was a official mechanic. And yeah, so this is Mama's dining room. As you can see, all of her curtains are the same. Like they match her little dining set, match her curtains in her living room, match her chairs, everything. And oh, also let me just point this out. As you can see, I have a chair off to the side and I have a high chair. So I always put a chair off to the side in the kitchen for a family residential lot that I'm making. Why? Because I know that you can feed toddlers in the high chair. I know this. I understand this. But in my experience, toddlers always, or at least maybe I always get picky toddlers who they want to eat, but they will fuss so much about wanting to eat, but then not want to eat while in the high chair. So I just don't let them, be a bully to me no more. I just let them sit as they please in the regular chair. Now, I still want them to be part of the family gathering, so I just put the chair off to the side. And you'll see this in a lot of builds that I make. I always put a chair off to the side for the toddler so that they can eat too. And I do this because if you play the game, you know that toddlers cannot sit in a slotted seat. So that's why it's off to the side like that. And then we have the high chair for any infants, any of your children that you may bring over to grandma's. So yeah. Also, let me talk about this dining, what is this called? The china cabinet. Now, I've referenced the china cabinet before in another video. You guys may have seen that video or not. I may not have posted it yet, but I always feel like it's always some older folks that got some china in a cabinet that they never use. And I'm sorry to you if you use actual china in your cabinets. I'm not referring to you, but to the older folks that I know who have china that they don't use. This is kind of like a nod to them. Also, what we have in here is basically the family photo wall. So when I was growing up, especially at my aunt's house, I seen this a lot, in which all the photos of all the family, including extended family members, photos all over the wall. It was just a thing. It was just a thing. You're looking for a picture, I can tell you my auntie had it, and you could see it when you go in her house and look at her wall. So anyway, I kind of do this thing in a lot of family builds as well, in which I put a photo frame on the wall to kind of replicate that. If you're wondering where these frames came from, these are the Growing Together frames. You have to unlock them through family reunions. I really don't understand why, because they are such a cool items. They should be an everyday thing, but nonetheless they are cool, and I like that we have them. And I always pick a like this orange, not orange, but sort of medium tone wood when I'm doing a dated home like this, because it just fits so well. But if you download this from the gallery, you will enjoy putting your family photos in here. All right, so let's move on. Also added an extra TV because maybe, you know, whoever's at the table, they want to watch their own, you know, whatever's on the TV. If dad's hogging the TV in here watching the game or something, your other Sims could, you know, watch the latest gossip or whatever on the TV, what, you know, while you're in here chilling with mom. Anyway, this is the kitchen. It's one of the smallest kitchens I ever made, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, but it serves its purpose. So as you can see, you can't see all the counters over here, which is a good thing because I didn't put nothing on them. And that was a intentional choice because literally you need the space. You need the space to cook on. So it didn't make sense to clutter it up with any clutter items. And I am a builder, but I am a gameplay player first. So I don't put unnecessary clutter in a build where I know we need the space to function. So anyway, we also got the microwave, the stove. Like, as you can tell, it's not the most expensive stuff in this kitchen. Like this refrigerator could use some love, and maybe while you play here you can get mama a new refrigerator because she could use it, because this one is a little dusty and crusty, but that adds to the character of the place. All right, and then going past this section, oh, also I did put shelves on this wall, and I think I said this before. I always put shelves on the wall in the kitchen, usually above the stove is where I put it, or somewhere near. Because there's a cool activity that you could do with canning. Now, canning is an activity that came with The Sims 4 Cottage Living, but I like to use it for everyday households just because it's fun. If you're somebody who loves being in the kitchen, or you just love cooking in The Sims, canning is a cool activity, and I like to have shelves to put all of those preserved cans. So if you're wondering what to use this for, there you go. Also, see what I mean when I say I got extra space in here? I just used the space so much better in this house. So we got the laundry room on the back porch, and check how my back porch actually looks like a back porch. Like, it is nice in here. You could come in here, you could sit and you can knit, and while you wait for your clothes to wash. Like, that's a vibe. It really is. And we got even the clutter items on the wall to make it feel believable. The other thing is, this is where I put the basement stairs. So access to the basement in the older build was near the bedrooms, which it's fine. Nothing wrong with that. This is just better for layout. It's out of the way. You don't need to see it if you are not going this way. So that's cool. So we'll go down there later. But for now, I'm going to take you to the other side of the house. So as you can see, this little archway leads to the hallway. And as you can see, it's literally like it's a hall just to be a hall. And you're probably wondering, like, why is this so open like this? Like, why don't you just knock this wall down and just not have it here? I mean, you can if you want to, but I am someone who, I love building, and that's not only like in The Sims, like that's just the thing. I like watching HGTV. I like looking at older homes and home tours actually outside of The Sims, real life homes and whatnot. And a lot of the older homes, like for real in real life, they were made like this. Like you'd have contractors that would come in looking to renovate the home, and they'd go, why don't we just bust open this wall right here and just make it open concept? And then that's what they do, because a lot of the older builds literally just have this hallway for no reason. I mean, you could put in this hallway maybe extra stuff or something else on the wall. I don't know. Maybe that's where you store your vacuum for busted dust. I can't tell you, but it is just a hall to be a hall. Okay, so in this room, this is the primary room. So this will be Mama and Dad's room. And for the kids, that will be Grandma and Grandpa. So this room is very different than the aesthetic over here. So as you can see, it's very like dainty in here. We got floral prints and pink, and it's lush with that, you know, fluffy rug. And then I like to think that in here, Dad said, okay, out of all the spaces in the house that you have control over, this, let me at least pick the vibe of the bedroom. So Dad got to pick what bed he slept on. Because if it was up to Mom, it probably would be, I don't know, who, some heart bed with cheetah prints. Who knows? This is really funny to me. But this is what I had in mind when I made this. I really did. So yeah. So yeah, this is just a simple bedroom with the dresser. This does come with an ensuite. Now, I want to say realistically, in a build like this in real life, you probably wouldn't even have an ensuite in a build like this. Like, I don't think it's realistic to have a build with its own ensuite in a home that's so old. Like, if this was bought in the 80s but made in the 60s, yeah, it definitely wouldn't. But I'm a simmer, I'm a gamer, I know what it's like to play. Sims need bathrooms, and they need all the extra ones you could think of. So this made sense for right here, and that's why I added it. And oh yeah, check out the ceiling fan. If you play with seasons and you get hot in this room, you can turn these fans on. So I usually turn my temperature effects off because I don't like my Sims dying. Well, let me not say that. The word is unaliving. Let me correct myself. I don't like my Sims unaliving. Okay. Over here, let's see. This is a powder room. Oh, okay. So I made a powder room right here because I figured this is Mama's house. This will be the place where there will be a lot of bodies in here. Even those that don't permanently stay here will be visiting here. So there will be a lot of bodies literally on this lot. And you're going to need a bathroom for that. So I put a half bath, aka powder room here, and there are toddlers on this lot, so I did add toddler bodies. So that's the reasoning for that. And then over here we have one bedroom. Now again, I have staged this up for the toddlers that are outside because I needed this space. If you want to, you can turn this into whatever room you see fit. We still got that stone accent wall, and it's pretty dope in here. I love the stucco. I think the stucco in this place is definitely a vibe. So really love that. Cute little toddler's room. This was the first time I actually used this default toddler set. So in the base game, there's this kid room. I think it's called the Kinder Maid set. And you have all these pieces with these same prints on them. And I needed something to put together for these two toddler girls. And mind you, these two toddler girls are in their terrible twos, I like to think of. And they are, very, what do you call them? The disruptive toddlers? The toddlers that are very rebellious? Yeah. Anyway, I needed something to throw together for them. And I was like, I kind of want to see what the whole set would look like. And so I put it all together, and I'm like, you know what? That's not bad. And I really like what we came up with. So yeah, this is a really cool room for that. Now, if you need to extend this room, you totally have the room for it. If I go out of build mode, yeah, you can extend this out. So you'll lose some plants on the side, but you don't care. If you actually need the space, you'd rather take the space than plants. But yeah, it's real nice. You just adjust the roof and you got extra space in here. But I just made it for these little ones, so this was okay. All right, so let's go into the next room. Let me get back down into tab mode. The next room is the shared bathroom of the actual Sims that live here. So it's just another full-size bathroom, shower tub combo, old style, another toddler potty. And then this room is another bedroom. So, in my save file, this would be for, again, a sister-in-law. So, aka to my kids that I bring here, this will be their aunt's room, who's staying at home with their parents, their mom and dad, aka grandma and grandpa. So, this is what this looks like. So I figured if she if she was a teen in the 90s, this would be what her bedroom would look like. And so, yeah, this is the vibe that I kind of pulled off. I did a lot of high school years furniture because I feel like a lot of their furniture had this kind of retro vibe to it, and a lot of it kind of gave me 90s vibes or 80s vibes. So I thought it was very fitting here. So that's what I did. And computer, because she's an adult, and like I said, I always think it's good to have some sort of shared computer in the household, especially when you're in a retro old build or a build with elders. Like, they need something to work with. It's just convenient. But yeah, that is this bedroom. It is realistic, and it definitely reminds me of the old bedrooms in the sets that I used to see back in the day. So very, very common. All right, so that is all the bedrooms that we had. I'm going to take you out the back before I take you to the basement. So here is the back of the lot. Now, there's not a lot going on back here, because I just had filler space. So again, you can still throw the parties and set something up in the alleyway if you want to. You could do the string lights and the big dance floor for your parties. You have the space for it. Compared to the other lot, it was just already set up for you, and this lot is just a little bit different. So in the other lot, I had that King of the Hill moment where dad and his friends would just hang out by the fence. So you can still recreate that. You could put the lawn chairs over here if you wanted to, but I chose to just keep it nice and clean, to be able to be adaptable for whatever. And then again, I chose not to have the garage this time, although this could probably fit a full car. I went with like more of a shed. So yeah, you can, put whatever craft or hobby you get into in here, whether that be candle making or pottery. Now we have that. Just a bunch of different things. Or maybe you want to give lessons out in the shed. Who knows what your Sims do for a living. Or if you want to have an office space, if maybe mom has her own office in the shed. Who knows? This could be her she shed. We don't know. But this space is open to you to do whatever you like. But now we can go back to where we have the laundry room, where the staircase is to the basement. So I'm going to go downstairs and I can show you the new and improved basement. Oops, sorry about that. I knocked over my phone. But yeah, here's the new and improved basement. So I go in tab mode, we get a better view of this. It is definitely a dated, aged, old basement. And I used old carpet and that wood paneling that you've seen me use before, because it's a vibe, especially for these older homes. So one thing that I like is that I stuck with that rock. Yeah, it's a rock. It's like a rock accent wall. I really like that. And yeah, I like to think of this as dad's space. So before I go any further, there is a door here, and this is a door to a restroom. Why do I have a restroom down here? Because I feel like it's convenient for Sims when they're visiting other places. There should be like a bathroom on every level. If it makes sense, definitely put it there, because Sims with bathrooms, when they gotta go, they gotta go. But yeah, this is like true to form basement bathroom with a standing shower. That's usually what I see when I go to a basement bathroom. The basement bathrooms that I've seen just have that shower unit in there. So yeah, I wanted to reflect that realism in here. And then this big open room was dad's hangout space. So dad and the guys will come down here instead of hanging out by the fence. So if you want, you can still change this up. When dad's not using it, it could be a slumber party place for the kids to have a stayover, sleepover. There is it slumber party? Yeah, I want to say it's a slumber party event that comes with growing together. And what you do is you have the kids take out their slumber party bags, which by default you don't have to worry about. Your sim you'll have to buy one for, but for the visiting sims, they bring their own. And when you click on your sim and you tell them, okay, it's time for bed, they'll like unroll their sleeping bags. And you can even tell them, okay, it's time to eat, it's time for snacks, and they'll pull out pizza or food autonomously from the sleeping bag. Like, it's just built into the slumber party event. So that was really cool. If you didn't know about it, check it out. That's why y'all need to play family gameplay. Anyway, so yeah, if dad's not using it, it's definitely a good place for the kids to be, especially if you want to like have like, I left a lot of room down here on purpose, because depending on what you want to do with the space, you could do it up. You can have a basement party. A lot of teens do that too. So maybe if you playing family gameplay and your teen sim's like, I want to talk to grandma and grandpa to see if they'll let me throw a house party. Perfect space for that. It even comes with the parts already ready. If you want to throw, what I like to do is have like a season kickoff party for whatever sports game you got in your Sims game. You could do that down here too. It's perfect for that. Now, there are 2 rooms down here, one of which is the stayover room. So just like the initial room that we had in the other build, this is a large room big enough for the stayover Murphy bed, and also a crib for a pack and play. Now, I could have put the pack and play here, but I thought I'd try just putting it in my inventory and bringing it, and that kind of adds realism to gameplay. I know you're probably somebody who might forget, but if you are like that, you can just plop it down yourself and it'll be here. But yeah, I stuck with the old one from the original from the original lot. We did this Murphy bed, and yeah, there's that room set up. Mama's like, I'm gonna have this room set up for you when you come over. And then over here, this is basically the new and improved storage room. And in the storage room, I just wanted a place that, again, felt like it was historic, in a sense of like, this could have been a childhood home, and then, you know, you grew out of it, things got turned into a storage space. You guys know the story. You know how it goes. So yeah, this is how it is. And the lights are turned off in this basement because I turned them off. I know I'm such a geek. I play realistically. So if there's nobody in here and this is the basement, this is a temporary room on special occasions, these lights stay off. This family is not keeping these lights on if nobody's in this room. So anyway, that is everything, guys. That is all that I have for this build. So that was pretty fun. That was pretty fun showing you guys. Oh, this is a card table, by the way. Remember Dad and his cards. Dad likes playing cards, so I imagine him playing spades down here. But yeah, that is the build. It is a gorgeous build, and like I said, it's pretty much the new and improved version of the other one that was here, with more bedrooms and more designated spaces. And it shows my skills, my how they've grown within the year, actually. So from 2023 to 2024, and that's only within a span of months. So I do like this better. And again, I still love the other one, but this is so cool. So yeah, thank you guys for watching the build tour. Again, this is called LA's Finest Grandparents. It is a residential lot. It is a 40 by 30. And if you're interested in finding this lot, you can find it on my gallery ID, MarshaTag12. So yeah, you can find it here. It's great. Also, I have plenty of other builds, anything from mansions to police departments to U-Bright Commons to playgrounds to French chateaus. It's all here. take a peek. So anyway, let me know what you think of this build in the comments below, and your thoughts on Del Sol Valley as a whole, and if you want to share anything about growing together and dynamics, and yeah, I'm all for it. I want to know what you guys are thinking. But yeah, thank you so much for coming along and vibing with me today and checking out this build of mine that I hold dear so much. So yeah, that is it for today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.